Hey guys, I'm Mike Palumbo.
And I'm Devin Oates.
Welcome to Punch Drunk Kitchen.
It's a show where two amateur chefs and professional drunks take on dishes from around the world.
And provide you useful tips so you can too.
Punch Drunk Kitchen is real food,
Real drinks.
real fun.
Thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Punch Drunk Kitchen. This week, Devin and I will be taking on the taste of Cuba, thanks to a comment by Shelly Sampson.
Thanks, Shelly.
Yeah, and to do that, we've decided to take some influence from the movie Chef. You guys may have seen it, starring Jean Favreau. I love that movie.
I saw you saw it.
I mean, it happened. So anyways, we're going to make a Mojo-Marinated pork, and Devin's going to go ahead and make some
Yuca
Yuca.
Mojo. Yuca Mojo.
It's Mojo. It's Spanish. He doesn't,
Now I'm just gonna say the fucking letters that are in the name, right? Like Salomon.
Salmon.
Alright, so this is something completely outside of my comfort zone. Normally I make sweet potato, something very basic, very American to the core. But yeah, I've never even worked with this stuff before, so this is gonna be interesting to see how the episode progresses as we try something outside of our normal routine.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think drink-wise, it's gonna be way better.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get some
I can't
mojitos in there, some lime juice, some mint, some sugar. That should be good.
That's one of my favorite drinks. Mojito.
Mine too. Delicious.
I mean, it's like that middle ground between like you want to go from old-fashioned something really stiff into like sex on the beach. So you gotta get that middle ground, so it's nice.
Also, we're gonna be changing the format of our show around a little bit.
Mostly hygienic, but
yeah,
I thought we were gonna
be
discuss
cleaner.
that.
I'm sorry. So anyways, you may have noticed our last video was like 30 minutes long. Not really conducive to YouTube.
Alongside.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break it down into a cooking portion, which should maybe be 15 minutes, and then have a talking portion later in the week. And if we end up doing a drinking game or something of that nature, that'll be in a separate video as well. So hope you guys enjoy.
Thanks.
Hey guys, so to start out, we're gonna make our mojo marinade for our Mojo-Marinated pork. It's a very traditional sauce made in Cuba. We're gonna begin with 2/3 cup extra virgin olive oil, 1.5 tablespoons of freshly grated orange zest. Make sure we get all this extra goodness in there. 1/2 cup freshly squeezed orange juice. Now traditionally in Cuba you would use what they call sour oranges. It's a little harder to find here in the States, so we're gonna mimic those flavors by combining orange juice and lime juice. So we're gonna add our 1/2 cup of freshly squeezed lime juice. We're going to add 7 cloves of garlic, 2/3 cup of lightly packed cilantro, 1/4 cup lightly packed mint leaves. Now we're using all fresh ingredients because we were able to find them here, but if you need to use dried or ground ingredients, just make sure you cut back on the amount a little bit because those tend to be more flavorful. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of oregano, a tablespoon of cumin, and a tablespoon of salt. I'm just going to go ahead and blitz this up. Just finished blending our marinade, transferred it here into this measuring cup. Now what you're going to do is you're going to want to take a 4 to 6 pound pork shoulder. We're using closer to 6. We're going to transfer that into a resealable plastic bag. And we're going to put our marinade on top. Alright guys, so now that we have finished marinating our pork overnight, we're going to go ahead and transfer that into a shallow roasting pan. So we're going to go fat side up. It may already come netted. If not, you may want to go ahead and wrap it in some kitchen twine. We've decided just to kind of leave it without because it's a pretty good cut. We're going to transfer this into the oven, preheated at 425 degrees for half an hour. After that, we're going to drop the temperature down to 375, making sure we baste it with the pan juices every half an hour until it reaches an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit, that is.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to my dish. I'm going to be making for you guys, or for us mainly, we're eating it, but you can enjoy the recipe. I'm going to be making a dish called Yucca con Mojo, and this took 7 tries to get that down. Something about not pronouncing the syllables there kind of messed me up. But what we're using is like cassava root, and this root originates from South and Central America, and it's the third largest carbohydrate source in that area behind rice and maize. So what we have now, we picked this up from Harris Teeter, any like well-known grocery store. Go to the root section, you should be able to pick it up. And we're gonna handle these much like we handle potatoes, but the only difference is if you cook these wrong, you can fucking die. And that's kind of serious. But if you handle it right, which we are, you should be fine. And the cyanide levels, the trace levels of cyanide, if you handle these wrong, that's what's gonna be the major factor of you not living. So we have 1.5 pounds of yucca root, 1 onion, 6 cloves of garlic, 1 lime, 1/3 cup of lemon, half cup of olive oil, and a little bit of salt. We're gonna toss these bad boys in the pot and get them breaking down a little bit. All right, so we're just gonna cut these up in pieces, have them cook, and then we're gonna let them break down for about 30 minutes. With some, bring the water to the boil, add some salt, a little bit of lime, and then we're gonna turn it into this masterpiece.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna add a liberal amount of salt to the water. A little lime juice to help that acid kind of break down the starches and the yucca root. Okay, I'm just gonna carry up these. So I just cut them in halves and then once again halves. So basically quarter pieces. We're gonna let it bring that up to a boil, then bring it back down, let it simmer for about 30 minutes with the lid on, and then it should be at a pretty good, I guess I'll use the word al dente for a little more pliable. Then we'll add the rest of it, and we're there.
Alright guys, so we just finished the first half an hour on our roast. What we're going to do now is drop the temperature from 425 to 375. Feel free to baste it with the pan juices that have kind of settled to the bottom. And then check it every half an hour, basting it again until we reach an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
So for the beverage of the night, Mike, you have chosen the Mojito.
I have.
Why?
I think it's a very, very popular, probably the most popular Cuban drink, especially here in America, that we've adopted from them. They also have other beverages. They have like the Ron Collins, the daiquiri, kind of similar flavor profiles using some sort of citric acid, of course white rum, granulated sugar.
Okay. So we're going with a lime, and we're not using simple syrup this time.
We're not. We're gonna actually use granulated sugar. That's gonna help break apart the mint, release those essential.
I think it's a little bit of sweetness along with the citrus from the lime.
Yep.
Okay, so for the mint, how much is too much mint?
And obviously, with everything in the world of food and drinks, it's all to taste, but definitely something to be careful for, especially if you're making drinks for others. Today we're going to use 8 sprigs of mint. Some recipes call for up to 12.
Yeah.
It's kind of your own personal flavor. Just make sure that when you're using mint or really any herb that releases essential oils, you want to be careful because they obviously are plants. They have chlorophyll, and if the chlorophyll has a tendency to get bitter, so you don't want to abuse the herb.
Okay. And I also heard that if you like hold it to your mouth, it makes you pass out.
No, that's chloroform. We're not using any of that.
Okay.
It's
Different show.
Just 2 guys here today. So.
Different show. Follow our blog. All right, let's get into it then.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on making our beverage of the night. We're gonna start off by doing 6 ounces of white rum. Today we're using Mixture de Ron by Bacardi. Break the seal here. Now, if I were like really good at this, I could do this without having to use a measuring device, but I'm not. So, and this is gonna yield enough for 4 servings. So don't be startled that we're using so much rum. After this, we're gonna go ahead and add 8 sprigs of loosely broken up mint. We're going to add 6 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. About 1.5 limes to 2 limes here. Oh, don't worry about that, folks. So lastly, we're going to go ahead and add 4 tablespoons of granulated sugar. and give this a nice shake. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and top off our drinks. I know we said it would yield 4, and it will, but me and Devin are kind of thirsty, so we're going to go ahead and just put it into 3 glasses. We've already garnished each glass with a slice of orange. Traditionally we would use lime. Unfortunately we ran out, and I think the orange will add another nice citric note to it. Alright guys, so now that we have it all poured, we're going to go ahead and add a splash of club soda to add some effervescence. I get some bubbly fizzy in there. And enjoy.
Alright guys, so this has been simmering with the lid on for the last 30 minutes. Next we're going to take it out and we're just going to drain it. I already checked with a fork, make sure it's tender. And depending on how you cook it, just make sure it's tender before you get to this step here. Okay, so we strain it. We want to make sure we keep that hot. So make sure you strain it a little bit. Add it back in there. Alright, next step was going to, you can choose to use a mortar and pedestal, but it's not the caveman ages, so we're just going to use a Ninja because it's 2015. So just going to pulse this up. It's not going to fit. And let's grab the right one. Alright. We're going to do the mixed blend that we introduced in the beginning. Olive oil, lime, lemon. Look at that, pretty hot. Gonna add the onions to it. It smells great. Alright, and we're gonna saute that until the onions break down just a little bit, and then we're gonna add this sauce right on top of the yuca, and this is gonna be bon appetit, baby. And the final touch, we're just gonna wring out this garlic here. Let that liven up the dish.
Alright guys, so we just finished with our pork shoulder. Pulled that out of the oven. We let it go for about 2 hours, removing every half an hour to baste it until we reach an internal temperature of 160. Now it's already delicious. You might want to bite into it already, but what we're going to do is we're going to let it rest. We're going to make a tent out of some tin foil, let it rest for about 15 minutes to half an hour, to let the juices redistribute, and then we'll be ready to eat. Devin's going to take it back over to the yuca to finish that off now.
Okay, so we got the sauce and the onions down to a point that they're translucent. They haven't started turning brown altogether. So we added a knob of butter, and then we're going to reintroduce the yuca to the blend, and then we're going to be pretty much ready for presentation. Okay, so we had this on the heat for about 2.5 minutes here. As you can see, we got a pretty good bubble going here. So we're going to add just smash around a little bit. So we had the lime as we introduced in the beginning, and that really helped to break down some of the carbohydrates, some of that smell. So you can go smashed potatoes, you can keep them whole. It depends. It just goes on personal preference here. But I rather have more of a traditional mash.